You hear the word Machiavellian, and maybe you picture a cold, manipulative villain, someone lurking in the shadows, plotting power plays. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many of the traits that define Machiavellianism aren't rare. They're hiding in plain sight, in boardrooms, in relationships, in friendships, and maybe in you. This video isn't about cartoon villains. It's about power, control, and how some people use charm and strategy to quietly dominate the world around them. So here are 10 signs you might be Machiavellian, whether you realize it or not. 1. You believe the ends always justify the means. If you've ever thought, it doesn't matter how I get there as long as I win, you're already thinking like a Machiavellian. These individuals focus on outcomes, not ethics. They're not burdened by guilt. They're not held back by rules. What matters is success, clean or dirty. 2. You're a master of manipulation. You know how to read people, what to say, when to say it. You don't force others, you guide them subtly. Make them think it was their idea. It's not lying, it's persuasion, and it works. You're not always the loudest in the room, but you often leave with the most control. 3. You rarely show your true intentions. Machiavellians keep their cards close. You don't broadcast your goals. You don't reveal your emotions unless they serve a purpose. You let others underestimate you, distract themselves, make mistakes. You move in silence, because power, when visible, becomes vulnerable. 4. You're emotionally detached, especially when making decisions. Where others feel, you calculate. You don't let emotions cloud your thinking. You make hard choices without flinching. You can cut people off if they become liabilities. You don't dwell. You don't second guess. You do what needs to be done. 5. You charm others to gain control. You're likable, charismatic. People trust you. They open up to you quickly. But for you, charm is a tool, not a trait. You don't connect to feel good. You connect to gain insight, influence, and positioning. You know that charm disarms, and once people lower their guard, they're easier to steer. 6. You view relationships through the lens of strategy. You don't fall into relationships. You enter them with purpose. Whether it's friendship, romance, or business, there's always a calculation. How does this help me? Where does this lead? If someone no longer brings value, you step back, not emotionally, but logically. 7. You're skeptical of others' intentions. You assume people have hidden motives because you know you often do. Trust isn't your default. It's something earned slowly, if at all. You don't believe in pure altruism. You believe in incentives, leverage, and positioning. And because of that, you rarely get blindsided. 8. You adapt your personality to fit the situation. Some call it fake. You call it effective. You don't always show up as the same person. In one room, you're dominant. In another, reserved. Around some, you're empathetic. Around others, distant. You adjust to extract the outcome you want. Not because you're lost, but because you're strategic. 9. You value influence over recognition. Machiavellians don't crave the spotlight, they crave control. You don't care if you're known, as long as you're pulling the strings. You're comfortable behind the scenes, whispering into the right ears, making key moves quietly while others take the credit and the heat. You believe most people are weak, and you use that. This is the darkest truth. If you see others as emotionally soft, easily manipulated, and driven by impulse, you might not pity them. You might see opportunity. You don't feel responsible for protecting the naive. You feel compelled to outmaneuver them. Because in your mind, that's what winners do. But here's the twist. Being Machiavellian doesn't make you evil. It makes you dangerous and potentially powerful. The question is how you use it. These traits, when unchecked, can lead to destruction, isolation, and emptiness. But when refined, they create leaders, strategists, visionaries. The truth is, the world is full of manipulation, power plays, mind games, and if you're not aware of them, you'll be a pawn. But if you understand them, you can rise. So ask yourself, do I use charm to disarm? Do I choose logic over loyalty? Do I see through the games and still play them? If so, you might be more Machiavellian than you thought. And that's not something to fear, it's something to master. This is the Sovereign Doctrine, where power meets philosophy. Subscribe, watch, learn the game, because whether you admit it or not, you're already in it.